Welcome back to another week of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan McGuire, the voice of your Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. Very pleased to be joined by another one of the veteran core, one of the OA3 on the team this year, a guy who's become a huge fan favorite, of course, with his physical play and this year with his offensive output as well. Ryan McGuire joins us. Miggsy, how are you, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. I can't get over how much you just look like a hockey player, man. You get the
Yeah,
missing tooth going. It's you
yeah,
just look like a hockey player.
yeah, I know. Too many bumps to the face, but
Yeah,
comes with
one
it.
or two,
Yeah,
here and there. And,
yeah,
like I mentioned, you've always been a guy that's brought, a physical element to the team. I remember you as a rookie and just marveling at this small guy out there who's running around like he's got a dump truck on his back. I
yeah.
mean, and you've just continued that, and the fans love it. But this year, you've been able to add a lot of offense to your game as well. You've scored some beautiful goals this year, man. I mean,
Thank you.
what's that been like for you to kind of find a little bit more offensive touch here as an overager?
Yeah, I think just need to tone it down a bit, get it with the suspensions and stuff. So just trying to find some offense in my game. Yeah, it obviously feels good to score. And yeah, just I had it like in minor, had a lot of goals and stuff. So just kind of getting that back feels good.
You've already set career highs in the OHL already in terms of points with 18, goals with 12. Like I mentioned, a good majority of those 12 have been pretty darn nice to
Yeah,
highlight reel.
yeah,
I recall one goal you had against Owen Sound this year that was pretty outstanding. It had us jumping up and down.
yeah,
As an overager on the team, you've had an interesting journey this year. Obviously, you were away for a little while the team figured out its overage situation. Then, of course, when Tommy Budnick was moved out, you were welcomed back onto the roster. That time away from the team, I'm sure that was an interesting and maybe even difficult time to kind of navigate when you went down to the GOJHL with Caledonia. I know you suited up as well for a game with the Cougars in the OJ. What was that experience like for you?
yeah. It was good. I kind of knew I always wanted to be in Guelph, but it was one of those things where I wasn't playing, so I thought I might as well go play somewhere else where I can play, and if it works out, it works out, which it did. But it was good. The guys were good in Caledonia and non-Burlington. But yeah, I kind of always knew I wanted to be back in Guelph if I got the chance. But yeah,
I know you're a Burlington kid, and I mean, I know you'd suited up way earlier in your career for a game with the
yeah,
hometown Cougars as well.
yeah.
I mean, obviously this year a bit of a different experience, but kind of cool to be able to do that in your hometown, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, that was cool for always when I was younger, I'd go watch those games and stuff. So yeah, it was definitely cool to play one game there as a hometown kid. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now, you had a lot of GOJHL experience prior. I know you had a really great season prior to joining the Storm with the Hamilton Kilty Bees. You go back down, you have a great run with Caledonia as well in your brief stint there this year. We've talked to a number of guys on the team. Obviously, the team's got a really close relationship with the Air Centennials, which has turned into a goalie factory for your team.
Hmm.
That league, I mean, I still feel like it's not given the credit it deserves for how good it is at developing guys.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of good young talent in that league. Um, yeah, going down there when I was 17 got me to build a lot of character and translate that to the O, which was nice. So yeah, I think they don't get enough credit, and yeah, it is a good league.
Let's talk about the fun stuff now because obviously you come back to Guelph, and when we heard that news, we were told that, and the buzz around the rink when it was announced you were coming back. I was not surprised at all. I was moved, if you will, to
Yeah.
see how excited your teammates were. And when you came back into the fold, like guys were so fired up to have you back in the room. That had to have felt pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that was yeah, it was a good feeling when I got the call back. Yeah, it was tough to be away from the boys, but yeah, no, it was yeah, a great feeling.
And, we've talked before and we've talked with all the guys about how special it is playing in the Royal City, like Guelph. I mean, the fan base is just incredible. When you were announced in the starting lineup, your first home game back, the fans were pretty excited too. They
Yeah,
gave you a real nice applause. That had to
yeah,
have felt really,
yeah.
really cool.
No, yeah, that felt good. Yeah, I was wondering if I was gonna start that game, which yeah, so it was nice when I did. That felt good.
Yeah, the coaching staff, they pay attention to stuff like that, which is
Yeah,
nice to see.
yeah,
As a veteran guy on this team, you're one of the three overagers on the crew this year. Yourself, Max Namestnikov, and of course, hometown kid Jake Karabela, who we'll talk to before the end of the season as well. I always like to, check in with the overagers. What's that experience been like for you? This is a young team. It's the youngest team in the OHL, and you're a veteran leader on it. I mean, does it feel like time's flown by from when you were a rookie on the team? All of a sudden,
uh,
you're the old guy.
yeah. No, it's crazy how fast it goes. Everyone always says it goes by as quick, but yeah, no, it really does. I remember our first year, we were kind of similar spot. We had, I think, 13 first year guys. So it just kind of shows it's kind of the same team as our first year, but reverse spots, and I'm the oldest. So yeah, it's cool to watch these kids grow and teach them everything we know.
Well, Miggsy, part of that obviously involves the off ice activities, which I know are a big part of any team in any sport. And you talk about teaching guys what you know. I still hear some dissent in the ranks about who the top NHL player is and who the best card player on the team is. I hear your name a lot.
Yeah,
I hear other guys' names a lot. I
yeah.
hear Charlie Paquette's real good. I hear
For
some
what?
of for cards, and he says he's an underrated shell player.
No, no,
No,
no,
okay.
no.
Set the record
Cards.
straight.
Yeah, no cards. Cards. I could give it to him. We had a little euchre problem at the beginning of the year of
Yeah.
who was whose partner. So then when I came back and guys got traded, me and Charlie ended up becoming teammates. So we ran the table in that, and then NHL don't even. I don't want to get started on that. He's not up there. I beat him every time. I beat him every time. But
Okay. I heard that there was a victory that was snuck in on his part over you, and you were really upset.
yeah, like I'll give him one or two. But if we're doing a series, I'm winning the series 100%. But
Okay, yeah, you got to
yeah,
give him one or
yeah,
two
yeah.
here. I'm curious because you strike me and always have as a very competitive guy that would
Oh yeah.
remember. Do you remember the team he was using that he beat you with? That's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, there's been multiple, but one I can. There's been a few, but one I can remember. We did the veteran teams, and
Yeah.
he was the Detroit veteran team with like all the old guys on it. So yeah, I remember that one.
So what you're telling me is he needed the Hulls and the
Yeah,
Robitailles and the
yeah,
Yzermans
yeah. He needed the
to
boost. Yeah,
to get one
yeah,
over on you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He needed the
I
boost.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah,
hey, anybody could win with Sergei
I
Fedorov
know.
on that
Yeah,
team.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it's like let's get
Yeah,
serious.
yeah. And he
All
gets the
right.
home side too. Yeah, he needs it all.
That's absolutely a big
Yeah,
deal too.
yeah,
He gets
yeah.
to go up twice.
Oh yeah,
That's a big deal.
yeah.
How much, have you enjoyed being able to be a part of something like that though? Like, we like to kid around about the NHL stuff and the card battles and everything. How much have you enjoyed being a part of that? Because the fans, like, they see you on the ice, they don't see all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, the bus trips, the nights spent together, the dinners. How much of that has made, an impact on you away from the rink, and how much has it been a real pleasure for you to be a part of?
Yeah, like we're at the rink all the time, so it's nice to get away, and just hang out with the boys and do our own thing. Yeah, like pretty much every night we're doing something. So like I think tonight we're going out to get ice cream, just hang out. You know, it's yeah, we're moving on soon, so just gotta kind of hang out every time we can.
Absolutely. On that note, I need to know, what's your go-to ice cream order? Like, what are we going to be taking in later?
Yeah, like I switch up every time. Probably something to do with chocolate. Yeah, maybe cotton candy. Yeah,
Wow, a
yeah,
cotton candy
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
How about that? All
yeah,
right. Yeah, I lean more toward, the mint chip. I'm a
hmm
mint chip guy.
yeah.
Maybe a Rocky Road.
Oh, Rocky Road's good. Yeah, we're going the Marble Slab. So they got the Rocky Road there. Yeah,
They got a pretty clutch Rocky Road.
yeah,
Make sure you
yeah,
bring home just a little container though.
yeah.
Don't make the coaches upset.
I
They're gonna
know, I
blame
know.
me now.
Yeah, I
They're gonna
know.
get they're gonna get on me for encouraging this ice
Yeah,
cream intake.
yeah,
A big part of being an OHL player, especially playing at the level you do and with the physical game that you bring. I mean, you gotta stay in shape and you mentioned it. You guys are at the rink so much. There's practices, there's dry land stuff. You guys really go through the ringer throughout the season. What's something that you kind of realize or appreciate about that grind, as they say now, Ryan, that you didn't maybe realize when you were a rookie coming into the league?
Yeah, like well, even just like when I went down to Caledonia, just was a different schedule, and I was just saying like I would love to like wake up and go to the gym with the boys at 9 a.m. and stuff like that. Like even the little things you don't want to do when you're here, but I think once you're done, you take it for granted, which you shouldn't. Yeah, just getting up, going to those workouts and all the school visits and stuff like that. You're never gonna do it again, so just kind of gotta can't take it for granted.
I think, with the way you play and the way you've played throughout your career, and, I mentioned how much you endeared yourself to the fan base from the word go, really, with how physical you are out there. You're a hard worker. You kill penalties, you score big goals. You'll get in a fight if you need to. When you went down and you mentioned, obviously it was just a thing where it's a numbers game that happens in hockey. Sometimes you wanted to play when you realized you were coming back, was that a big part of, you bringing some leadership back into the room for these young guys to go like, hey, look, like you should really take advantage of your time here? I mean, I'm sure that was a unique lesson that you were probably able to impart on some of the young guys.
Yeah, definitely just show them that you want to be here. Like it might be hard, but definitely want to play here. And like yeah, even when I got the call back, I moved into my billets that night. Like yeah, so it just shows like I want like you want to stay, you want to be a part of the team and with the boys, stuff like that. So yeah.
You've got quite a connection to the city, obviously, and you guys have spent a lot of time in the city. I asked you this the first time I had you on the show, but now as an overager with, we're coming up as we record this on, like 3-4 weeks left in your
Yeah.
last regular season. It feels incredible. You know, what is so special about playing in Guelph? What has it meant to you to be a Guelph Storm?
Yeah, just the fans. I love the city. Just feels like home. Yeah, not much to it. Just if I could play here my whole life, I would. Yeah, billets have been great. Everything pretty close to home too, which is nice. My family gets to come. Yeah, so kind of honestly everything.
Every year, and all the teams do this, when we hit that last regular season game at home, they're going to honor you guys, and fittingly it'll be against the Kitchener Rangers, which will
Yeah.
which will be an interesting, and maybe you guys are playing for that last playoff spot on that day too. I mean, it
hmm
could be a very big game for a number of reasons for you, Jake and Max. They'll get your parents out there and everything. Who do you think's going to cry first, mom or dad?
Um.
Will it be
Oh,
you?
no, no, probably. I don't know if anyone will. Probably my mom though. I'd say
Yeah, she'll
if
be
someone
emotional.
does, yeah, if someone does, probably be her. Yeah. hmm
It's I think something too that a lot of people tend to kind of unplug themselves from. We watch you guys on the ice and we're like, look at this player and all the things he does out there. We sometimes forget how big of a family affair it is, particularly for a guy like you where your family's not very far away. They can come to lots of games. Jake is a hometown kid, Max is been around, and when he joined the team, he's lit the league on fire with the goal scoring tear that he went on. For the three of you to be experiencing this OA season together, how special is that? Because I know you have a real special bond with those two guys.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Ever since Nemo came to the team, we've been pretty tight with him, and then Jake, I've been with him since day one. Played against him my whole life, so yeah, we clicked pretty quick. And then when Nemo came in, we clicked too. So yeah, it was cool to see these guys grow and become good players, and yeah, it's a good experience.
If I took a puck right now and threw it in the corner and got you three to chase after it, who's coming out with that puck?
I don't know. Someone would find a way to cheat, and then we'd end up just arguing. So. Yeah, we were playing spike ball this morning, and me and Nemo were on a team, and I think we argued more than we actually played. So, yeah, But-
The strategy wasn't syncing
yeah,
up on the
no,
spike
no,
ball court.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
spike ball can get pretty intense. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You talk about being so into the city and loving playing here, and I think that's something that just about every guy I've ever talked to, even alumni, like constantly bring up how great of an organization it is, even in tough times. I mean, look at the fan turnout this year. You're
Hmm.
third in average attendance. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, you mentioned, you're gonna go for ice cream later. You're gonna hang out with the boys. There's a lot of great spots around the city that, I'm sure you'll look back on and remember, oh, it was great to go to Marble Slab. And,
Hmm.
what are some destinations around Guelph that you're gonna look back on in 20 years and remember, man, it was great to hang out with the guys there?
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch. Like we go everywhere. We got a lot of free time, so yeah. We go Montana's is one we go to a lot. Marble Slab. Um State and Maine is another big one too that we go to all the
Oh
time. So
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
that's a good one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Those are
a few
probably the
good
three.
spots.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
you
there's a
go. I,
bunch.
I like
Yeah.
it. The little
Yeah.
top three. That's good. Who are the top three toughest competitors that are not related to hockey? Like we joke around a lot about the NHL competitions, the cards. Who are the toughest guys on your team that you've competed against in off ice activities?
I'll say Grant is at the bottom for sure. I'll just set the tone there.
Just sewering Grant
Yeah,
Spada. I
Grant's
love
at the
it.
bottom.
Okay.
Probably Jet's up there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an athletic kid. Um, Probably go Nemo, and then who else is there? Yeah, I'll go Jake.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. Giving your
yeah,
fellow OA some love and your
yeah,
captain too. Very
yeah,
diplomatic. Very
yeah, yeah,
diplomatic. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You bring up Jet, obviously, Jet Luchenko, first round pick in the NHL and the still pretty newly minted captain of the Guelph
Hmm.
Storm. You were still a young guy when he came into the league and, his first year, some injury trouble hit him. Then he comes back his second year, thinks maybe I'm going to be the number two center. Matt Poitras doesn't come back. All of a sudden, he's thrust into being the number one center and has a dynamite season.
Hmm.
Now he's the captain. What's it been like for you watching a guy like that grow into more and more of a leader every day?
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I think just watching him every day, you take things away from what he does, try to put into your game. Yeah, it's cool to see him grow and become captain of the team. And yeah, if he's back next year, he'll get that again. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see a young kid step into that captain spot.
You've been able to play in all the rinks around the league and go on some unique road trips that are part of the travel schedule. Do you have any favorite visiting barns that stick out that you look back on and be like, man, it was really cool to play in that barn? Does some come to mind?
Yeah, my probably London's just cool because how big it is. But my favorite's probably Ottawa. I like that rink.
It's a
Yeah,
cool rink.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know why, but
underrated.
yeah, that was probably my favorite.
They got
Yeah,
good ice there too.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
ice is always really good
Hmm.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really good one. I mean, as a broadcaster and a guy who's in a little worse shape than you,
yeah.
I'll say, the fries in Owen Sound
I,
are
I don't think I've
hardcore.
had them. I don't think I've missed a game in Owen Sound where I would have got them. They good
You
there?
should you
Yeah,
should investigate, maybe post game get
yeah.
somebody to save you
All
a
right. Yeah,
cup
I
full of
will.
them.
Yeah,
They're pretty
yeah,
hardcore. Yeah, that's a good one. Sudbury too, like just something about the northern rinks. They're just like they just feel old
yeah,
school.
yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, no,
And they film
I didn't mind
Shorzy
Sudbury.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, they film Shorzy there too, which kind of
yeah,
adds a little more of a mystique to it, I
yeah,
guess. So,
yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
um, do you watch that show very much? Like, have you been able to check any of it out?
I don't watch it, but I know Chase Coughlin, who's playing the storm. I know he's in it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
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 was there
does
all
pretty
summer.
he
Yeah,
does pretty well in it.
yeah,
He's
that's pretty
he's
cool.
he's an interesting character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should check it out. Maybe you'll end up on the next season. You
Yeah,
seem like
maybe.
the type of guy that Jared would be a fan of.
Yeah,
You could be a future teammate
yeah,
of
yeah,
Shorzy. You never know.
yeah.
I guess
Never
he's
know.
coach. I guess he's coaching now in the new
Hmm.
season. So,
Uh,
um, yeah, pretty cool stuff.
hmm.
When you consider, all of the road trips, all of the different journeys that you go on, the ups and downs of a season, what are some of your favorite memories? I not even necessarily in game moments. I mean, like I said, you've scored some big goals in your career. You've gotten into some great tussles too, which
Hmm.
everybody always old school guy like me, I
Yeah,
appreciate it when the
yeah,
gloves come off. What are some memories that really stick out to you from your time on the ice in the OHL?
yeah. One that comes to mind is my first year. We were playing Saginaw, and I had two goals in the first period, and then Butchie got hit from behind. So then I went over and started fighting a guy. Then Chase came in with a flying cross check, and then CPOC just pumped another guy, and it was all three rookies fighting like a veteran line. I think I fought an 0-1, CPOC fought an 0-4, and then Chase had an 0-3. So yeah, it was pretty funny. We just beat the wheels off of them, and then yeah, I think those two got suspended, and then I got the 17-minute instigator. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was an interesting stat line. We should go
Yeah,
back and like print. I actually will suggest to Lisa and Lindsay, they should print that game sheet off for you and like
yeah,
give it to you framed the
yeah,
last
yeah,
game. That would
yeah.
be
That
a
was a
nice
good one.
encapsulation.
Yeah,
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 that was a fun night for sure.
yeah.
And I'm glad you brought not only that incident, but that lineup because I remember when the three of you were just kids on the team and came in and were doing stuff like that, sticking up for each other. And you guys were, the
Hmm.
youngest guys on the
Yeah,
team. And it really drew everybody in. And that brings us to another guy that we've referenced earlier. He might not be a great NHL player and he needs some help,
hmm.
but he's turned himself into a pretty darn good goal scorer, and that's Charlie Paquette. You guys
Yeah.
have grown up on this team together. You spent a lot of time together, played on a line together. Mark and I used to
Hmm.
call you guys the Bash Brothers.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a 30 goal scorer now.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
incredible stuff. Did you see that coming?
No, it was funny today actually. He was like, if you told me my first year I'd score 30, you'd say I'm crazy. That's what he was saying today. So no, but yeah, it's good to see. I'm happy for him. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's wild to consider, where he started in the lineup, where all of you guys started in the lineup, and to see the success you guys are having now, like that's pretty special too, especially guys that you've been around the whole time. Guys like him, guys like Jake and
Hmm.
Max when he came over. Like those are bonds that are going to stay there forever. Like you've probably made a lot of friends for life, and I'm sure that's something that's really special about your career as well.
Yeah, no, that's probably the coolest part. I still stay in touch with all the guys. So yeah, so, we'll probably all get together in the summer, do something. Yeah, so it should be good.
You're sitting here now as a veteran player in the league. You've done a lot, you've accomplished a lot, and you should be really proud of it. If you could look back and talk to 16, 17-year-old Ryan McGuire, what would you maybe tell him?
Just enjoy it. Yeah, you only get the chance once, so yeah, just enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Don't take anything for granted.
Obviously, there's a lot of games left. You guys are still very much in a push toward a playoff spot, which I definitely hope happens. I think the team deserves it. Despite being the youngest team in the league, you guys fight hard every single night. There's been a number of standout performances. The comeback against North Bay, I think, is
Hmm.
a huge highlight. You scored the tying goal in
Yeah.
that game as well. I almost came out of the booth.
Yeah.
Uh, when you look at this team and the future of it, I'm sure that there's a lot of optimism that things can change pretty quickly here in the Royal City when you see the guts that this team shows.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where we're not getting blown out. It's like the games are pretty close. Like it's like a one goal game, just can't get that finish. But yeah, if we have a good, strong finish here, hopefully get into a playoff spot and hopefully have a playoff push, would be pretty cool. Obviously, don't want it to end. It's my last year, so yeah.
I would like to see it go a little longer for you as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
you've gotten to play against a lot of good players too. You talk about playing with a lot of good teammates. You've
Hmm.
played against a lot of really incredible opponents.
Yeah.
Who are some guys over your years that stick out where you're just like, man, that guy, he's hard to stop?
Yeah. Wyatt Johnson was one. Yeah, he was a good player. Evangelista.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. And then I don't know, probably hmm, maybe Will Cooley too.
Oof.
He was a big boy. Hard to play against for sure.
A bunch of big guys that could skate
Yeah.
real well
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
could fly out there.
Hmm.
Obviously, like I said, the physical element to your game, I refer to it much like I described a few of your teammates over the years, and you would be the guy that would headline this description. I would describe the way you play as punk rock hockey. I'm a
Yeah.
big punk rock guy,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
metal guy. You just fit that. You're
Hmm.
very much like Joe Strummer on ice. If
Yeah.
I Google Joe Strummer,
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
don't know who
know.
that
No.
is, legendary lead singer of the Clash. All
All right.
right. And that's you on skates, I
Yeah.
think. Just a very like I'm gonna get it done attitude.
Hmm.
And obviously, as you mentioned, that's led to the odd time where you've had to drop the mitts.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have recollection of some standout fights that you've been in? Because you've been in a few beauties.
Yeah, no, they're all fun. Yeah,
They're all
well,
fun, he
yeah,
says.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. No, the one in Saginaw was a good one.
Yeah.
Um, what else? I think when probably kind of sucks the time of the game, but against Saginaw or not Saginaw, Sarnia in playoffs, Charlie got hit, and then it was my
Yeah.
second. I fought Dillingham like the game before in the regular season, and he said we'd go again because it was short. So then when he hit Charlie, I just went straight at him and yeah, dropped the gloves with him again. So that was probably a pretty cool one too. Just playoff fight. So we were down 4-0, tried to get the boys going. Didn't have a good outcome, but no, that was a good one.
And again, like a lot of the scraps you've been in, you're giving up a few inches and a few
Yeah.
pounds, and
Hmm.
you always seem to come out on the better end of it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you got a drive and an engine in you that's very unique, and there's that fight in there. But like, where'd that come from? Like, who instilled that type of work ethic in you, where you're just fearless out there?
Yeah. Probably growing up, we had a lot of kids on the street that were all older than me, my brother's age, like 4 years older. So I'd always be out playing road hockey with them when I was way younger. They'd stick me in net. So then
Yeah.
I'd just be eating balls off the face and pucks and stuff. So yeah, then that and then just competing against them, fighting with my brother growing up. I think just always been competitive, and then minor hockey was always chippy. So yeah, it just kind of translated.
When you're the young guy on the street, which I experienced when I was
Yeah.
younger, I mean, I have a younger brother, but like I was one of the younger guys that would take part in the
Hmm.
street hockey tournaments. The nice thing about getting stuck in net is that when someone comes running at you and you give them a little Ed Belfour stick
Yeah.
action,
Yeah.
they're generally not going to do anything to you because no one else wants to
No.
go in net. So they know if they piss you off, the game's over.
Yeah. No, there's been times where I would leave the net and then they would tell me I'm the best goalie on the street, so I'd go back in net when I really wasn't, but I believed them at the time. So
Yeah, what
yeah.
a con job that
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
eh? And, oh, you're the
Yeah.
best guy. Go back
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Okay. But you could take a couple liberties here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What's obviously being in the city, being a part of this organization, you've had a lot of great teammates. You've been able to play under a lot of great coaches and experience a lot in the game. I know that it's premature to be having a conversation like this, but with one more month of regular season hockey in front of us as we record this, Miggsy, what's next? Like, where do you want to push your hockey career? What's going to be next for Ryan McGuire after this?
Yeah, hopefully get a contract, maybe like an A deal. Yeah, that would be nice. Looking to play pro somewhere. So yeah, just hopefully get something like that. Which yeah, that's probably my go-to.
like I said earlier, and like we'll end on this, and I'm curious, to pick guys' brains. We've seen a few guys do it. Most recently, a guy like Braden Hislop, who unfortunately had to end his career injured in the league,
Hmm.
but he's out there on the bench in the sharp purple suit, helping
Yeah.
the coaches and everything. And he always struck me as a guy that would eventually get into coaching whenever he decides to stop playing.
Hmm.
You kind of strike me the same way. Like, has that thought ever entered your mind? I mean, you're very young in your career,
Hmm.
but whenever you do decide to hang them up, has it ever crossed your mind like maybe I'd be interested in coaching, staying in the game that way?
Yeah, I think like for me though, I'd want to coach older kids.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of the only way I think I would do it. Haven't really thought too much of it, but that's the one thing I think I'd do, just coach like guys in junior. So yeah.
I think you'd have a pretty good CV
Hmm.
to kind of come in
Yeah.
and say, do I need to even give you my resume? I'm Ryan
Hmm.
McGuire.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
was one of the tougher guys in the league. I think I can handle myself.
Yeah.
Um, well, dude, like I said, it's been a pleasure to watch you. I'm hoping that you guys punch away into the playoffs because I'd love to see it continue. But seriously, you're one of the guys out there that, when Mark and I see you hop over the boards, we know what we're gonna get every single time. The
Hmm.
fans know what they're gonna get every single time. And so do your coaches and your teammates. And I think it speaks volumes, like I said earlier, how excited everybody was when you came back onto the team this year. And that's been fun to watch. It's been a great career. I hope it keeps on going for a little longer here. But
Yeah.
seriously, you should be very proud of what you've done. It's been such a pleasure to cover you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. I can't wait to see you at the rink and
Yeah.
look forward to continuing a
Yeah.
playoff push here.
Yeah. Thank you. You as well.
Absolutely, man. Hey, and do me a favor. Don't ever get the fake tooth. You gotta
Okay, I
leave.
will.
You
Yeah.
gotta leave it.
I know.
You just look like a
Yeah.
hockey player, man.
Yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
will.
Ryan McGuire, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can find this show on the team's website, all your favorite podcast apps, YouTube, and remember, come down. There's not much time left. You want to watch the Guelph Storm in the regular season and give a wave to Ryan McGuire and his teammates. Go to the Sleeman Center box office or the Storm website for tickets. We'll be back next week with more Eye of the Storm.